My daughter. My youngest. My only girl. Yes, she does hold that special place in my heart. When she came to ride with me at the Wheelin In The Country Halloween event of 2017, she was hoping that the Sportsman would have been repaired and she would be able to ride on her own. Since it was not, her only option was to ride with Dad in the passenger seat of the RZR. Now, I did let her take it out by herself for a bit, but for the most of that Saturday, she rode with me. When the evening rolled around, Wheelin In The Country provided free hot dogs and chili for the riders. This, of course, became a social event as all the hungry riders packed into the cafe to eat. Of course, my daughter, the social butterfly that she is, met some people more her age and invited her to go night riding with them, and that was fine with me. She is an adult, and I certainly didn't want her to not make friends and have a good time. So, as she went on her way with other riders, I thought I would head back to the camp and maybe start a fire. But by the time I got back to the camp, it felt like a better idea just to go in the tent and crank up the little buddy propane heater. The tent was dry by now, so I thought I would just kick back on the cot and listen to the night riders in the hills around me. The night drew on and I found myself engrossed in a show on Netflix on my phone. The little buddy heater was doing his job, but my body had not yet acclimated from the warmer temperatures to the now sudden colder temperatures. So there was a definite chill going through my body which I would painfully pay for in the near future. At some point in the night, a new sound began to penetrate the distant sound of the Polaris ProStar and Can-Am V-twin engines. Once it finally got my attention, I realized I was hearing the unmistakable rumble of a helicopter. Now, I was curious, so I jumped out of the tent to go investigate. And sure enough, there was a chopper making its way over the mountaintops, spotlighting a place to land in the open field amongst the campers and four-wheelers. It got as close to the makeshift EMT facilities as it could, then landed. I grabbed my camera and headed out to see what happened.
You know what happened?
No, I don't know. I wonder if it happened out in the woods or right there.
At this point, I had no idea what had happened. I was a bit concerned though. After all, my daughter was out there somewhere. And for all I knew, that could be her in that helicopter.
Any idea?
One person has got to the lifeline now, and somebody from the family just pulled up in their car and ran to the helicopter. But I've only seen one person get out of it, or that was already in the ambulance, I guess, that has been taken to the helicopter.
So they brought them from down there up to here?
Yeah, wherever they wrecked, because the ambulance came from around there, and then the helicopter started lowering, and then that one that's closest right there, got somebody from the back of it and put them in there.
Oh, okay. They got another one coming.
That might be what this helicopter is. There's two that came from up
So they don't know where they wrecked at though?
See, I don't know, because you know how the helicopters were like spotlighting everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
I guess they were trying to find them, but that person that just took off in the four-wheeler, that was the man who came in the car, and I guess it's related to the people who wrecked.
I found out a little while later that my daughter was not involved. She rode back into camp an hour or so later and caught a ride home with a friend. So, I was one relieved dad. Sadly, what I did find out was that a family had rolled their vehicle. A mom, a dad, and 2 kids. Apparently, another rider came up on the accident and found them, upside down, still seat belted in their seats and all unconscious. From what I understand, other riders brought the victims to the trailhead where the ambulances picked them up and rushed them to the EMT camp. That is where the helicopters picked them up and took them to the hospital. I never found out what happened to the family after that. I was happy that my daughter was safe, and on that same note, I was sad that a great day had ended so badly for a family just trying to have fun together. Anyway, I finally got back to camp and did my best to get some sleep through a bone-chilling night. The next day, however, was a much better day.